Well, hey everyone, and welcome to my classroom, which is currently set up for in-person and remote learning at the same time, simultaneously. My name is Randy Martin, and I teach 8th grade social studies at Desert Ridge Middle School, and I'm a 2015 Golden Apple Fellow. First of all, what am I doing with the students that are here in person? Well, I've got my interactive whiteboard set up here at the front. It's a 12-foot by 8-foot interactive whiteboard that's running through my main computer here that I also have a Google Meet running through for my remote students. And then this projector. This is projector number 1 of the 2 projector setup that I've currently got going on. And this way, all my in-person students, no matter where they're sitting, no matter how far away or socially distanced their seat is from everybody else, they should be able to see this screen because of its size. Also for them, as far as SEL accommodations go, I did bring in some different lighting in my classroom that reflects more of a homey environment rather than using the bright, buzzy Walmart lights that give everybody migraines. And I was noticing as I was teaching these students when they were fully remote that a lot of the students had colored lights in their rooms, and I think there's something psychological to that, something comforting about being able to change the lighting and reflect the mood. So I went ahead and, through Donors Choose, got a small grant to get some colored light bulbs for my classroom. And that way I can change the lighting as well and kind of reflect the mood, not only of what the students might be feeling, but also what we're learning. So for example, if I'm teaching about the French Revolution, I can light the room on fire like we just lit the Bastille on fire or whatever through the lighting of the room. And I found that that kind of theatrical gimmick really does help the students focus and makes the students feel a lot more calm, a lot more safe as well, and again, a lot more like they're back at home. I've also got, as far as SEL learning, a stereo system set up in the classroom for the students because you know how the students are. They've always got their AirPods in, they're always listening to something. And again, I think there's an SEL psychological component to the need to be listening to music. And for me as well, as a musician, I know that music helps me focus, helps me move forward, helps me stay on task. So to that end, I've got a surround sound system set up over here that's connected via Bluetooth to my main presentation computer that's running through some Bose direct reflecting surround sound speakers as well around the room. Pause for a second. All right, sorry about that announcement. You know how that goes. So I've got the music playing for my in-person students as well. And the music is always lyric-free. I found that music with lyrics was really distracting. But also, since I teach history, I try to play music from the time period that we're studying. So for example, if you can hear what's coming through the speakers now, I've got banjo music from around the Civil War era in American history, since we're gearing up for the Civil War here in the content of my class. Now for my remote students, I send them links to some of the music so they can hear that as well for equity's sake. But I also have my second projector set up back here attached to my Promethean board so that my students that are in person can see all my students that are remote. So the students that are remote will pop up on here. We've got the chat open on here as well, so all my in-person students can see the questions of my remote students and interact with them that way. I've also got a 180-degree camera synced up to my main computer. And that way my students that are remote can see the entire classroom, 180 degrees of it at least, and see what all the students are doing and interact with them that way. Now, since this computer is set up via Bluetooth to my surround sound system, when my students that are remote have a question and unmute, we can actually hear them blasting through these speakers so that my students that are here in person can hear and see my students that are remote, and my students that are remote can also hear and see my students that are here in person. So it's complicated, it's messy, it takes about 20 minutes to set up and turn on, but so far, as long as the internet works, it's working out pretty well. One final thing, just in case I'm kind of far away from my Promethean board and can't quite see my remote students as well and can't see their questions in the chat, is I got a Microsoft Surface tablet with a hand strap attached to it so I can walk around the room with the tablet and see the students that are there remote, interact with them, turn on the camera here so they can see me up close if they need to. I can see the chat a little bit more clearly as well. And if there's a student here in person that is debating, for example, in one of our debates, and our students online need to see or hear them, I can take this tablet and walk right up to that student and have them interact directly face-to-face right there, in person and remote. So that's a little bit about how I do it. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at martin_r@aps.edu, and I look forward to hearing about some other classroom setups as well. Thanks, Cheryl, for inviting me to do this, and we'll be in touch.